Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Randy McNair. I'm the Director of Entertainment and Public Address Announcer for the Tacoma Stars. First and foremost, for those here at the Accesso Shower Center and those watching on YouTube and social media, right now, thank you so much for joining us. We have a bunch of fans in the building. Thank you so much for coming and showing your support. This is exciting. It's an exciting day for our fans. It's for the foundation of our club. It's an exciting day for the front office, for the players, and an exciting day for the Major Arena Soccer League, although maybe not so much for the opponents of our division. Before we get to today's main event, I'd like to introduce those joining me today. We have the architect of the Tacoma Stars, the reason the legacy of the Tacoma Stars continues, owner Lane Smith, over on the far right. We also have General Manager Darren Sawatsky, a man that just does not stop working for this soccer club. Darren's on my right. Also, we have an incredible relationship with the Accesso Shower Center. We want to thank them for opening up the Accesso Shower Center for today's event. General Manager Tim Higgins and his staff, they do an incredible job. It's been an incredible 4 years. We're looking forward to this 5th year and many, many more. Today is just one of the many exciting moments to come this 2018-19 Star season. Our schedule is the best we've ever had. We've got more promotion nights. We've already signed some exciting players. We got Danny Waltman back in goal, our last line of defense, the best. The Danish Dynamo, Philip Lund is back, and also the return of Mike Ramos. Also, today's introduction of Matt Clare, Milan Ivanovic, and our latest signing, which we will announce in just a couple moments. The first player I'd like to announce, a prolific MASL goal scorer. 2017 and 18, he had 16 goals, 12 assists in the regular season, 1 goal and 3 assists in the playoffs. Also had 4 power play goals last season. He's the son of John Clare, the former St. Fort Lauderdale Strikers player in the APSL. Also played for Tampa Bay Rowdies in the NASL, the Wichita Wings, Wichita B-52s, and the San Diego Sockers. I seem to remember announcing his name unenthusiastically many times in their visits here. And also, he's also recently quoted as saying Tacoma as a place that he fell in love with. From the very start, he fell in love with the atmosphere, the fans, and the history of the organization. And I'm talking about number 99, midfielder forward, Matt Clare. Welcome aboard, Matt. Our next player, assistant coach for the Seattle Reign FC, a well-versed veteran player from Belgrade, Serbia, played at Park University in Kansas City, and played 5 seasons for the Kansas City Comets and won a 2014 MISL championship. I'm talking about defender, midfielder, number 12, Milan Ivanovic. Welcome aboard, Milan.
Thank you.
And our next player had an outdoor pro career from 2005 to 2015. Also won a national futsal championship in 2004 while a member of the Pittsburgh Futsal Club. Played with the New England Revolution, San Jose Earthquakes, the Seattle Sounders Football Club, Chivas, DC United, LA Galaxy, and the Colorado Rapids. Was picked up in the 2008 MLS expansion draft by the Seattle Sounders. And he stayed with them through 2011 season, helping the club win 3 consecutive U.S. Open Cup championships. He won his 5th U.S. Open Cup title in 2013 with DC United and the 2014 MLS Cup with the LA Galaxy. He appeared in 251 games, with 230 of those being in the starting 11. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tacoma Stars have signed defender number 7, James Riley.
If you want to take a picture, you can come right up here.
Thank you. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here. Definitely an exciting day for me to call this place home again. Spent, 3 fantastic years in Seattle, and since I left, I've been trying to get back. And so to be back representing the historic Tacoma Stars is something that, is very important to me, and I appreciate Lane and Darren. They created a long runway knowing that, they wanted to start this conversation very early on, knowing I had to make some decisions with my new family here and kind of decide what was right for me. And ultimately, they created a win-win situation, which I couldn't refuse or turn down, and to be able to represent this great area, again, with such tremendous players that have proven themselves over the course of the competition is fantastic. And so I'm just ready to get to work, get fit, get to work. For me, competing is in my blood. The missus tells me all the time, if I don't get a workout in or get to a soccer game of some sort, it's just, I'm not on even keel, so to speak. So I need that type of competition and that rush. And so for me to be able to do that, compete at a high level, again, I feel like I still have a lot to give. And I come into this situation very humbly, knowing that the indoor game is a bit different than the outdoor game. And I've always been a student of the game. And so I'm very, very, fortunate to have this opportunity. And I've I've prided myself on a few simple things throughout my career, and that's to earn the trust of the organization, to earn the trust of my coaching staff, to earn the trust of my teammates and the fans. And this will be no different. And when I go out to compete, when I go out to train, and my preparations prior and the recovery afterwards will be, focused on that. So I'm ready to get to work, and thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, so we're going to open up to questions that anybody might have up here in the front. You guys can ask James or Milan or anybody up here in the front. Any questions you have, come on up, and we have a microphone here. Come on up to the microphone so we can hear that question on the live. Sorry.
My name is Scott with Q13. James, what is it that appeals to the Pacific Northwest as a place to live and play that brought you back here?
Yep, great question. Thank you for that. So my 3 years with the Sounders, without a doubt, were the 3 of the best years of my career. I just think what Seattle brought to the table as far as the fan base, the culture, the players that were brought in was fantastic. And so, as you continue your professional career and the expansion draft happened and you have to shift teams, you do so. But my goal was always to get back to Seattle in some capacity. And so to do so after 7 years is fantastic. I'm raising a family very close to Tacoma. And so as I transitioned back, I knew the Tacoma Stars had a game. I'd never gone, and I reached out to Darren. And so we came to our first soccer game. I think the missus was 8 months pregnant, and so Brooklyn James was exposed to that in the womb. And we said it was a fantastic experience, honestly, from the entire production. The actual quality and product on the field was top-notch. And then we even went down and got autographs afterwards, with the fans. We just thought that entire experience was fantastic. The arena, the liveliness. And then obviously it's very deep-rooted. For me growing up, the indoor soccer, professional indoor soccer was on TV first. That's what I really watched, right? That's what really turned me on to soccer, and I saw how fast-paced it was, how exciting it was. And even last night, I searched YouTube videos of the current team from last year and even going back to, the historic years of years past. So for me, the Pacific Northwest has always appealed to me just because of the people, the weather, what it did for me in my career, in my life, and then ultimately it was the missus' decision because she lives here. So that was the card that was pulled on that.
Dave Clark, Sounder at Heart. First question for James. What's going to be the hardest part converting from an outdoor player to an indoor player?
Yep.
And then follow up for Coach. Last year, you converted an outdoor player to an indoor player. He was the Rookie of the Year. What are you going to do to get James into that same mode?
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Dave. Great to have you here. Great question. For me, it's physically, right? Actually, that would be secondary. First is the mentality. I think to compete as a professional, you have to be in a different mentality. And I've been out. I retired in 2015. So even just to get that process in of, really getting in a mentality to really compete at a high level and wanting to win. I think that was first and foremost. And then second is physically. I know it's a very different game. And so I've already spoken to, some physical trainers, some athletic trainers and things of that sort to get me on a program that will really have me set up for success. And knowing that I'm a bit older, right, we want to have, a fantastic 5 to 6 months of the season where I just continue to get better and better. So for me, it's first mentality. It's just the mental transition in doing so. Secondly is the physical aspects and demands of the indoor game are very different. And then third is just getting used to the indoor game. I mean, the walls, things of that sort. And so learning the strategy, the tactics. And again, I'm a student of the game. So I'll walk into the locker room very humbly and ask guys that have been there before. And that's how I've really got on well in my career. I just watch best practices of those who've done it in the outdoor game, right? From the Steve Ralston to the Taylor Twellman, Shari Joseph, Landon Donovan, Robbie Keane, Alonzo, Osvaldo Alonso. It's watching best practices of the players that are successful and trying to implement those and appropriate those and into your own game. So that's what I'll do. What great question. Thank you.
Just to follow that up, I would just say that we're very, very lucky. He's in the audience here today, Danny Weltman. I've learned a ton from him as a veteran indoor soccer player. We have a bunch of guys that have come along. We haven't announced him again yet, but Joseph the Jet Kyrell is back. He's a converted outdoor to indoor player. The ability for players to adapt, you need intelligence, and you need good veteran people around. We've signed 2 more guys up on the podium up here today. They're both veteran guys that know a lot about indoor soccer. I'll learn from them. But most important, if you couple what we have here with Danny and Joseph and the veteran guys, for Philip it was a very easy transition. He learned very quickly after he ran into the boards a couple times. I have a feeling that James will probably learn a little bit quicker than that, being a guy who's well-traveled and versed in the game. In saying that, the real work starts. After we take the suits off and head down to the dungeon and start getting to work, there'll be a bit of a learning curve for him, and we're excited to see how he does.
More questions? Go ahead, Dave.
Milan, you've spent some time in Kansas City, both as a coach and now as a player here and a coach. What does that kind of dual role do for you? How do you bring the coaching aspect, all the experience you have there, kind of into what you bring into the indoor game?
Thank you very much for the question. Well, at the beginning, it's a little bit difficult because obviously as a coach, you want to coach all the time, but then I like to take my role as a player and kind of move away from coaching. Obviously, if I can help any younger players with advice, I would do that, but I like to think of myself during this part of the season more as a player, and just that way feel like I'm going to enjoy the game a little bit more. But obviously, we do have a coach, and indoor and outdoor, I like to see it as different sports. So with that being said, I just want to focus on playing during my off season and time spent with Tacoma Stars.
And Matt, your scoring record in the indoor game is rather impressive. How do you integrate that when you come to a new team? It's been a while since you've integrated with a new squad. What do you look to do?
I think for me, the league is not very big, so you kind of figure out players' tendencies, especially since being in San Diego. I played against Tacoma probably 15 times over the course I was there. So coming here, it's all about finding tendencies of players again, but now on a different side of things. So we've been training a little bit already, and I'm starting to get along with the players well. I've had a good career scoring goals, but for me it's about winning championships. My name is irrelevant to the name that's on the front. So this year, if we can find everybody, we're bringing in a good group of veterans that are coming in to bring experience to even the guys that have been playing for 3 or 4 years, because indoor is a different game. It's not football. It's not what we grew up playing, a lot of us. so it's getting that adjustment quickly to the team, and hopefully finding success on and off the field. So.
Tony Roberts got a quick question for owner Lane Smith. Lane, with the addition of James and Milan and Matt, what's your your outcome for the season? What are you looking forward to, and just the league in general? What are your outlooks for this coming season?
Yeah, well, a couple of things. Let's start with Matt and Milan. It's like, Matt, really tired of you scoring goals against us. So, we just had to get you on the other side. Now you're on the good side. Milan, you've been a player for a long time and extreme knowledge base, and we're, excited to have you defensively help us out a lot. One thing about James, switching over to James a little bit, which we didn't talk about, and I'll get to Tony's question here in a second. It's when he came down on the field, we have a saying that goes back. It's kind of a tagline that goes back to the 80s. It's what a feeling. When he was down there on the field last year, Darren invited his family. I could see it in his eyes. He was looking around and thinking, what a feeling. The fan engagement, the players, this is something that, wow. I'm looking at him and thinking, how can we get this guy involved in our program? And I think he's on the other side thinking, well, how do I connect up with this program? So it was really excited for us to just get together and say, hey, let's do this thing. One thing that we never talked about with James, and he's a very humble man, as you can see, is that everywhere he goes, he's a humanitarian. He's number one in community outreach with the team that he's involved in. And he's just a fantastic guy. And he's going to be a fan favorite here. And he's going to be out in the community. And he's somebody that is a leader. He's a true leader. And he leads by example. And he's going to be a great asset, not just on the field, but bringing that what a feeling to the Stars organization. To Tony's question, we're always in the hunt for a championship. A few things here and there. Last year, we would have moved on in the playoffs. Only unseeded team to win a playoff game last year. So we continue to build on this program, and we're looking to obviously win a championship. I segued a little bit, Tony, but did I answer all your questions?
Just for each of the players, what are you guys wanting to accomplish this season, both personally and as a team?
Great question. I think Lane and Darren, first, thank you, Lane, very much for those kind words. I think Lane and Darren illustrated it. I mean, it's an organization that's looking for a championship, so they're making those moves accordingly. I mean, you have a fantastic arena to play in. You have a tremendous fan base. You have history with the badge and what the Tacoma Stars represent, and now you're signing big-time players that have proven themselves. So without a doubt, I think as we get together as a group and we set up our team goals, I mean, top of it is going to be to win a championship and put ourselves in a place where we can really, really make a run at the end of the season for a championship. And then personally, like I said, it's just to earn the trust of the organization, my teammates, coaching staff, and the fans. And that's going to be with my play on the field, how I take care of myself, how I compete. You like to, players kind of go through almost a metamorphosis where you can be very, very nice on the field or off the field and in front of the mic, but once you step over the dotted lines, I mean, it's just a different mentality. You switch and you want to win and you want to compete, and that's at training, that's in your lifts and your recovery protocol. I mean, you live the life of a pro, and that's what I really wanted to kind of take time with and decide if I had the capacity to do that again. And so thank you again to Lane and Darren for giving me a long runway to really, really have a conversation with my family and decide if I had it, and I wouldn't have signed or agreed to it if I didn't think I had it again. So for me personally, just to earn the trust of the organization, teammates, coaching staff, and the fans with my play on the field.
Well, obviously we're new to the team, so I'm sure all of us, first thing is also, gel in, get to know the team, get to understand what coach wants us to do. And then as a team, I think organization itself set the standard. The idea is to win the championship, and I'm sure there is about 10 more teams in the league that are thinking the same way, so it's not going to be easy, but we will have to try, so we'll see.
I think as a team, obviously, every team starts the season with the same thing. We want to win a championship. So I think as a team, it's about coming together collectively to form the same goals and all have the same mindset straight off the bat. Not 5 games into the season when you're still trying to figure things out, but a month and a half, 2 months before the season starts, we have our mind set on this is what we want as a team collectively. And individually, I think it's doing everything you can in order to help the team be successful. It's as a player, you go through phases. You have good games, you have bad games, but really it's about the guys around you. If you're having a bad game, you got 10 other guys that are behind you lifting up your spirits, if you make a bad pass, they're encouraging you and not putting you down. And I think for me, that was personally one of the big reasons why I came here, is because the camaraderie of this team is beyond any team I've seen before, and I've been a part of some pretty good organizations. Everybody's extremely happy. Everybody's extremely excited to play. Everybody's extremely excited to work for each other. And so that's what I'm looking forward to the most is helping guys when they're having a bad game work for them. And I know that I'll get the same in return. So.
Pete Richmeyer, my question's for Randy, Darren, and Lane. Following on social media and coming to the games at the Showwear Center, the connection between the Stars and the fans is huge. What types of things can we expect from the Stars this year for the fans for the upcoming season? And some people in the back having a little bit of tough time hearing, so you guys speak up a little bit. That'd be great. So what can the fans expect?
Go ahead, Director of Entertainment.
Well, we've got our players up here that are going to be fire, that's for sure. And we got Darren and Lane they're constantly working on getting tremendous players in here for on the field. And then off the field, it's the entertainment aspect as far as, when there's breaks. That's something that we really pride ourselves on, keeping the fans engaged and keeping the fans involved and entertained. It's something that we've done well since year 1, I think. And so we started the ball in the van thing that was tremendous last year, and we're going to continue that, and we're just building off of that and getting some more ideas to get the fans involved because quite honestly, the fan interaction is we want. It's a family setting here. They come down on the field. They're with the players after the game. So the fans we're all one here. There's not a separation. We're all a big Tacoma Stars family. So we're going to all enjoy the game as a family and make sure we're all entertained.
I'll let Lane talk about the business side a little bit, but I would be remiss in not recognizing Tony Roberts, Jamie Hoffman, Peter Webster, and Aaron Warshaw, who really run our staff. They're in the trenches every day. They're kicking some serious rear end in terms of the business side right now. I also would have to say, for those of you out there in the webosphere, you don't see all of the fans in here today. And I'm the hair standing up on my arm and on the back of my neck because I'm seeing what this thing is developing into and growing, thanks to Lane and to you guys for being a part of this and blowing us up on social media and everything else that you do for us. That was a long-winded way of not answering a business side. I'll hand it off to you, Lane, so you can get your thoughts. But the technical side, you can expect an incredibly organized team, a very cerebral team, and the plan's to punch some people in the face. We came to win trophies. That's the plan this year and into the future. So players got work to do, but the league better hold on.
Easy coach with the punch in the face, we got to dial it down
No
a
red
little bit
cards.
here. We're a family organization. As Darren alluded to, we have a very strong staff, and the good news about all of this is I'm just the owner, and so they do all kinds of things. If I knew about everything that they did, it'd probably be dangerous. So, but we're all about group involvement. Washington Youth Soccer is a large group organization that we continue to have award ceremonies and on-field activities. And, that has always been our focus, and we're just going to accelerate on more group involvement, getting more fans on the field. The nice thing about indoor is there's breaks, there's half part-time opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities for different organizations and groups to be involved here at this fantastic facility. From our sponsors, they look at that engagement as well. As far as social media and these things, we're all this is I'm old, but the reality is we live and die by these things now, and we're going to accelerate our fan engagement through application. And we already do our game day programs via phone, but we're going to add more content to that environment, and just more of everything. As Randy indicated, from the beginning we've had a huge fan, player, community involvement, and we're just going to accelerate on all of it.
Head to the mic. We can't hear you. Can't hear the question. And I can already tell it's a very important question.
Danny Waldman, Associated Press. I just want to say thanks for being here. Hey, this question's for Milan and Matt. How does it feel not to have to finally score or try and score against Danny Waldman? Thank you.
Danny Waltman, wow. A lot of goals have been scored against him, unfortunately. But I'm really looking forward to the opportunity. Obviously, you can see with the laughs here that, everybody gets along well. So I'm ready to get to work. I'm excited for what we have tomorrow with our game, and to get kicking right away. So,
Danny, it's great to be on the same team with you again. Danny and myself, we played together for 3 seasons, right? And just ready to see his backflips again. Hopefully he's gonna do them. No?
Easy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
More questions? This is your chance. Okay. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. Just thank you so much to all of you that have come out today. This is really cool, and it only gets us more excited for the season. I don't know how much more excited we can get. For those of you joining us on YouTube and social media, thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, opening night is not too far away. December 1st. That's Saturday, December 1st. Against the Turlock Express. Game time is at 7:05, and I can tell you right now it's going to be absolutely electric. It's going to be fire. So come on out. Get your tickets at TacomaStars.com. Once again, Saturday, December 1st is opening night. Thank you so much for coming here, and we'll see you opening night.